Yo, what is going on, guys? So, have some updates for the Philadelphia Eagles. A few things, nothing crazy. We'll go over contract, we'll go over position group, we'll go over a few things. But there's some stuff that we did find out that I'm kind of wanting to talk about because I think it is important between the Eagles and some of the coaching, or maybe some of the guys that they want to retain. Which is pretty interesting. So let's go over some of the news. Nothing crazy. Take everything with a grain of salt, of course. But there is some true news into all of this, which definitely got to cover this. So let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
So when you find out certain news about coaches and you're like, oh, like you thought it went one way and then it was never reported that way, and then the reports come in and you're like, wow, it's kind of nuts. But I'm actually not surprised. The first bit of news is really Jonathan Gannon. They actually tried, and this is 100% true. The news was coming out the other day about it, that we didn't know what was going on between Nick Sirianni and Gannon. Okay, now, after the NFC Championship game, Gannon said he was staying in Philadelphia, wasn't going anywhere. Then all of a sudden, they left him in Arizona, and Howie Roseman didn't tell Gannon about this interview until, like, after the game. So the reports came out that the Eagles offered Gannon literally head coaching money to stay in Philadelphia as the Eagles' defensive coordinator. Okay, maybe a little bit of more of a better title, maybe to add a little bit more to his title than just be a defensive coordinator. So I don't know what else he was going to do here going into this offseason to this season in 2023. But yes, the front office offered Gannon head coaching money. And this was an interview to Peter King. So Gannon had his interview with Peter King and said all of this, which is kind of nuts that they offered him like as much as they wanted for him to stay. And he still left, and he still rejected, and he went to the Arizona Cardinals to be their head coach, which I think is kind of nuts and maybe a blessing in disguise at the end of the day. So that's all I really got to say about that. I mean, that's just kind of, the Eagles really wanted him badly to stay. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out myself, like they never questioned him. They never really questioned him in that second half. I think part of it, too, Gann doesn't want to be here because he knows that he ain't going to hear the end of it. If you lose a divisional game, a wild card game, an NFC Championship game, yeah, you're going to get crap for it from the fans. But losing in a Super Bowl the way you lost it, that was... He knew he was gonna have a lot of pressure on him this year, and if Gannon did stay, it obviously would be a prove-it year for him to see what he would do with this team. And it's just weird because you have a good regular season, but he didn't win when it counted. You know what I mean? Like he didn't win when it counted, and that was the big problem. Totally outcoached and fell apart. Then there was other news that he, said some things about the game in general, got into more detail about those 2 touchdowns on the fake jet motion that the Kansas City Chiefs did, where the Jaguars actually beat us on that play, ran that play on us once early in the year. We got beat on 2 touchdowns with it in the Super Bowl, which is kind of crazy. And he had to say this. He said, our players were prepped. I did not do a good enough job myself to put them in a position to make the play. I didn't do a good enough job to get out of the call what I wanted out of the call. I didn't give them the tools that they need to win the down. On that second one, I thought Mahomes was going to play that as a drop back, and that coverage was a 0 blitz. Jesus Christ, wouldn't have covered that in a 0. Okay. Okay, number 1, 0 blitz in the red zone, and this is on the second fake jet motion touchdown, okay? So you didn't give your players enough. So your players did not call themselves out of that play defensively, out of cover 0. Obviously, no safety help, man-to-man coverage, and it didn't do a damn thing because Mahomes got the ball out so fast. If Gannon's talking about not giving his players the tools, like they couldn't convert out of a cover 0 to something else to where they wouldn't have maybe scored on that play. It really pisses me off that something so simple, if you're seeing the same look, and if these players are saying the same look, and the coach was pretty much like, you're staying in this regardless of what I call, and you're not changing it to anything else. I mean, not even just that, but why would you even... I don't know. I don't know how you don't convert out of that play defensively. I don't know how you just stay in the same formation as you did on that last one you got scored on for, and I think this was obviously after I could be wrong, but this probably after the big punt return that they had, which obviously that's not on the defense. Obviously special teams was horrible in that game, and it was a crucial part of the game, which really affected us in a lot of ways. But I mean, you don't prep for the week to where, like, if the Kansas City Chiefs are showing something that they scored on you with the same play already, and the Eagles players seen this, if those defensive players saw what they were seeing and they're like, oh my God, they're doing that play again, and you didn't prep them to, why didn't the players change out of that coverage? Like, that's what I don't get. What did they do the whole entire 2 weeks? What did they do the entire 2 weeks that they were preparing for this game? He just got outcoached. He just got beaten physically and mentally. This defense got pushed around. Like, it was a tale of two halves with this defense. That's why it left. I mean, even finding out more about this is just how did he even get a head coaching job? Like, how? Like, even the Texans backed out of even hiring Gannon. Like, how did he even get it? I don't get it. And I'm still going to question it, and because, like, I felt like, besides the external factors in that game, and I don't care if I'm complaining or giving excuses or whatnot, like, the Eagles got really screwed in that game in a lot of ways. And obviously both teams were dealing with the same factors. I understand that, but there was a lot of weird things in that game. A lot of weird things, which I'm still not. I'm over it, but I'm past the part where I'm really pissed off about it. But I'm still like, I didn't like how that game went down for a lot of reasons outside of our own mistakes. Okay, and we had plenty of them. Trust me. Offense did as much as they possibly could and played fantastic. But it is what it is. I mean, that's just what we have to deal with, and I just say to myself, like, if we had a better defensive coordinator, this wouldn't have happened. And I understand that's there's a lot of factors that go into it, but a 14-win season's great, but if you can't beat the best team in the AFC, and because it's not even like they went down swinging. If they went down swinging, it was back and forth. Defense was getting set. Like, I mean, the Bengals defense played better than this. I mean, that's how, and with more the weapons that we had, and just there was just like, how do you not know what to do? Did you get feedback from your players during the game? Like, what was going on? Like, It totally sucked the wind out of me, literally. I mean, I was just like, wow, just crazy. So that's all I really got to say about it. So that was the huge interview with Peter King, with Gannon, and it's just nuts, man. It's crazy as everything goes. So going into the second bit of news, Jalen Hurts. Now, it looks like they're trying to get this. We already talked about the Eagles are trying to get this deal done. Now, it looks like the Eagles have talked to a lot of veteran players about restructures to make room, and it looks like they're going to do that. Okay, this deal could go down. This deal could go down before the combine. Okay, before the combine. I forgot what date it is. February 28th, the combine. I think I thought it was March 3rd, but I get confused with some of the dates in the off season. I'm trying to figure out, holy crap, dude, like, they're going to get this done, like, within, like, less than 2 weeks. Like, they're trying to get this done as soon as possible. And I think part of it is because with Joe Burrow and some of these other quarterbacks that have to get paid, they want to get first dibs on, they don't want to be the last team to sign their quarterback. Daniel Jones switched his agents, and he wants to get more than 45 a year. Like these guys want to get more than 45 a year, and it's going to happen. I think the Eagles want to get that first signing done first, so this way, if they're waiting for other quarterbacks to sign, if they do sign, the Eagles won't be the last team that's going to be like, man, we have to top these deals. Which is it's gonna be nuts. But I hope they get this done as soon as possible. It looks like right before the combine, within the next couple weeks, like less than that, they're gonna get this deal done. They might be the first team to get a deal done with their quarterback, their franchise quarterback. So should be interesting. I'll say nonetheless, get it done as fast as possible. I totally agree with that. They should do that, and yeah, definitely. And the last bit of news, we're going to talk about a positive thing. Other than, there's coaches out there. I don't know what other coaches are going to get pricked off our roster, like, Troy Rocker, Kevin Petula, or passing game coordinator. I'm still, waiting for Steichen and Gannon to take more coaches and pry more coaches away from our staff. And it could be happening. I don't know. There's rumors about it, so we'll see. But last bit of news is the tight end group. I think one of the most strongest groups that we do have. Now, Dallas Goedert was hurt, this past year for a good amount of time. But when he came back, he was great. And obviously this offense misses a beat. But I think with Dallas Goedert being injured, it really helped the Eagles focus on doing double tight end sets, really focusing more on Calcaterra install, giving them more opportunities, and actually attacking with Devontae Smith vertically with A.J. Brown, which I thought was a big... I think with Dallas Goedert being out of the offense for the weeks that he was, I think it really helped the Eagles get Devontae Smith more involved, not just on the short comeback, short little routes that he was doing beginning of the year. But Dallas Goedert, obviously the number 3 tight end in the league, in my opinion, behind Travis Kelce and George Kittle, is getting better every single year, and hoping for another great year from him next year. And to be honest with you, I really like this tight end group. Even in the beginning of the year when Dallas Goedert was healthy, they would give Jack Stahl or Calcaterra a catch here and there, nothing crazy, but they got them involved a little bit. I didn't think Calcaterra was really a good blocker, but later throughout the year, when Calcaterra had more opportunity, man, he's probably the fastest tight end that we have on this roster right now. Literally, I mean, he's quick. He's got good hands, and his blocking was pretty good. And then you have Jack Stahl, which he's more of a big body, uses his frame to get those catches, uses his hands, and get you some yards, especially upon contact as well. And Jack Stahl was a undrafted free agent a couple years ago, and they did a really good job with him. He got the most out of the undrafted free agent money that year, and it really did pan out. And Calcaterra was a 6th-round pick from played with Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma, transferred to SMU, and obviously had a lot of concussions. Eagles drafted him, and he's been pretty good. I think they have a really good group right now. I think Togiai is gone now. There's really nothing else that's promising on this roster tight end wise. Some projects, but I think you're going to have a nice competition going into this OTAs and training camp with this tight end group. I really do like Stahl and Calcaterra a lot. A lot of starting experience for those guys, a lot of play time for those guys. So it's a really good sign going in with the tight end group going into the 2023 offseason into the season. So it's pretty good. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, nothing really crazy. Like I said, we have the combine soon. I haven't went over any draft prospects, and I haven't even talked draft yet. Maybe talking draft because of free agents not being here or players leaving, but we have to get into all of that really soon. Been doing a lot of homework on some stuff. So, definitely we'll be back in the next day with another video. If you guys haven't, or if you guys lasted this long in this video, definitely subscribe if you guys have not, and like the video if you haven't either. All the support really does help a lot. And we're going to have videos every day, all off season, every bit of news, and hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow, slide, peace out, guys. Peace.